It's not about the suffering or the difficulties or the pain in the journey. It's about the treasures we find in the pain. So we have discovered it's not been about the pain. There's been great valleys of pain and suffering, and then there's been mountaintop experiences, but it takes quite a bit to climb Mount Everest, eh? And you get lots of blisters on your feet, and you get weary, and sometimes you feel like giving up. And however, with God leading you on and guiding you on and encouraging you up the mountain, you get to the top and you realize it was all worth it. Mm-hmm. But then you might face the next valley. But there's another mountain up the other side. So it's all a wonderful, glorious journey, actually, at the end of the day. And to experience Him and His ways through it is what we want to give to you today. It can't possibly be that God didn't allow, that this whole journey has been for the sake of just us as a family to have grown and discovered and learned and gained what we have from Him in it. It's got to be that He wants it for many. So we'll share it with what parts we can with you. So Missy, being all of 22 years of age, is a miracle before your eyes. So anybody who doesn't believe in miracles, you now can. Because here is a miracle sitting before you. God's miracle. Because you're 22 years old, and when you were 2 years old, we were given the forlorn and dismal news that, sorry Mommy and Daddy, but prepare for her death, for she won't be with you for very long here on earth. Mm. But here you sit.
Kind of shows contrast what man tells.
Mm. And so there now our journey began of, we can listen to man with their best intentions and good intentions, and well, the condition before them looks like a baby in the bubble syndrome, whereby this little person is not making antibodies, and her antibodies that she's getting are from her mother's milk, because that's where she gets her antibodies from, but her mother can't feed her till she's 21, breastfeed her. So come the day that her mom stops breastfeeding her, she's going to be in a bit of trouble, because where's she going to get her antibodies from, because her little body's not making them on her own. And so that puts her in a bit of a dire situation, whereby you need antibodies to protect you from germs and infection, and Missy's body wasn't making those antibodies, and so she was, according to medical science, people, babies, individuals born with such a condition, known as baby in the bubble syndrome or hypogammaglobulinemia or primary immune deficiency. So you get an immune deficiency called primary, which isn't acquired immune deficiency being AIDS. It's acquired. You acquire something that causes your immune system to be suppressed or destroyed or whatever. Or when you've got a primary immune deficiency, you're born without the immunity in the first instance. So it's supposedly a genetic disorder, which we've simply learned otherwise. But anyway, so primary immune deficiency meaning she had a deficiency of her immunity in different categories, and you get about 70 different spectrums of primary immune deficiency. And the most severe one is where all your antibodies are deficient, and in that case you've got very short life expectancy, because you can't, you can be protected with antibiotics and everything that can be given you to try and aid you in your state of infection, but eventually the body succumbs to the infections and the kidneys get destroyed and the liver gets destroyed. And so Missy's been through that. She's had kidney failure and liver failure and all the various things that come from excessive infection. And they want to do a bone marrow transplant on her, because that way you can maybe introduce an antibody making.
The 50-50 chance of success there.
Yes. We can do the bone marrow, but she might die if we do the bone marrow transplant. So, but it's the only hope we've got, so we'll have to do it. That's what you hear from man. But our hope is in God. Our hope is in Christ. So We went to him and he told us otherwise. He didn't tell us that she had a 50-50 chance and that she needed a new bone marrow. He told us to trust him. So each time we've gone to God, he's given us a different story to the story we hear from man and from the dismal reports we've had from them. And so his story is from his word, and that's what we became dependent and reliant on, God and his word.